population ages, elderly exploitation has become a growing concern. Many older adults are vulnerable to financial abuse, neglect, and other forms of mistreatment. Unfortunately, the perpetrators of these crimes can be family members, caregivers, or even strangers. But what exactly is elderly exploitation? And what are the ways criminals exploit the older generation? In today's video, we will be taking a look at what is elderly exploitation and ways criminals exploit the elderly. Hello, and welcome to another KYC Lookup video, where we bring you AML related content to help you enhance your knowledge in the fight against money laundering. Before diving into today's video, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. Oh, and don't forget to leave us a comment with any suggested topics you would like us to cover in the future. So, on to today's video. What is elderly exploitation? Elderly exploitation, also known as elder abuse, refers to an action or lack of action that causes harm or distress to an older adult. It can take many forms, including physical, emotional, psychological, and financial, as well as neglect and abandonment abuse. Unfortunately, elderly exploitation is a growing problem around the world. According to the World Health Organization, 1 in 6 older adults experience some form of abuse, with only 1 in 24 cases being reported. This means that the majority of cases go unnoticed and unaddressed. Here are the different types of elderly exploitation. Physical abuse of the elderly involves the use of physical force that results in injury or pain, including hitting, slapping, pushing, or restraining. Emotional and psychological abuse may include verbal and non-verbal actions that cause emotional distress or pain, such as threats, intimidation, or belittling. Financial exploitation is also a common form of elderly exploitation, which involves the illegal or improper use of an older person's money, property, or assets, including theft, fraud, or undue influence. It is estimated that financial abuse costs older Americans billions of dollars every year. Neglect and abandonment are also forms of elderly exploitation, which involves the failure to provide the necessary care and support that the older adult requires. This may include withholding food, water, medication, or other basic necessities, as well as leaving an older adult alone and isolated for long periods of time. Ways criminals commit elderly exploitation. There are many ways in which criminals can exploit elderly individuals. Here are some of the common methods. Financial exploitation. Criminals can take advantage of an elderly person's lack of financial knowledge and exploit them by stealing their money or property. This can include scams such as phone or internet scams, where the criminal pretends to be someone else in order to gain access to an elderly person's money. Identity theft. Criminals can steal an elderly person's personal information, such as their name, social security number, and financial information, in order to commit identity theft. This can lead to criminals opening credit cards or taking out loans in the elderly person's name, which can ruin their credit and financial stability. Healthcare fraud. Criminals can exploit the healthcare system by billing Medicare or Medicaid for unnecessary medical services, or by providing fake medical equipment or services. The elderly are often targeted because they may have more healthcare needs and may be more trusting of healthcare providers. Emotional exploitation. Criminals can exploit an elderly person's emotions, such as loneliness or fear, in order to gain their trust and manipulate them into giving them money or access to their financial information. And physical abuse. Criminals can physically abuse an elderly person in order to steal their money or property, or to gain control over them. This can include physical assault or confinement. It's important to note that many times, elderly exploitation is committed by someone the elderly person knows and trusts, such as a family member, friend, or caregiver. An example of this would be in March 2021. A nursing home employee, Valerie Nicole Williams, was the business officer coordinator at Transitions Healthcare Capital City, a skilled nursing facility in the United States. Between October 2018 and August 2019, she used her position to steal $7,421 from 7 elderly residents and 4 vulnerable adult residents at the same facility. Williams forged the signatures of these residents to withdraw funds from the residents' accounts managed by the facility. In 2 instances, she also redirected money orders intended for residents into her own account. The case, however, is still ongoing. How much money is lost to elderly exploitation? According to a 2011 study by the MetLife Mature Market Institute, the financial loss due to elder financial abuse was estimated to be at least $2.9 billion annually. The study also noted that this figure was likely an underestimate due to underreporting, and indeed it was. A more recent report by TrueLink Financial, who offer financial services to the elderly and vulnerable people, estimated that seniors lose approximately $36.5 billion each year to elder financial abuse, with over $16 billion of that coming from financial exploitation, such as scams and fraud. Here, TrueLink Financial have broken down exactly where and how money is scammed. Financial exploitation. $16 billion is lost annually to financial exploitation, defined as the use of misleading or confusing language, often combined with social pressure and tactics that take advantage of cognitive decline and memory loss, to obtain a senior's consent to take his or her money. Criminal fraud. $12 billion is lost annually to explicitly illegal activity, such as the grandparent scam, the Nigerian prince scam, or identity theft and credit card fraud. And caregiver abuse. $6 billion is lost annually to deceit or theft enabled by a trusting relationship, typically a family member or sometimes a paid helper, friend, lawyer, accountant, or financial manager. It's important to note that the financial losses experienced by older adults is just not monetary. Elderly exploitation can also result in emotional distress, loss of independence, and a decline in overall well-being. It's important to take steps to prevent and address elder exploitation to protect older adults' financial and emotional health. So, let's take a look at ways to prevent elderly exploitation. Elderly exploitation is a serious issue, and it's important to take steps to prevent it. Here are some ways to prevent elderly exploitation. Educate the elderly. Educate the elderly on how to recognise and report financial abuse, scams, and fraud. They should be cautious of strangers or acquaintances who ask for money, personal information, or access to their bank accounts. Stay involved. Stay involved in the lives of the elderly, even if it's just a phone call or a visit. This can help to prevent them from feeling isolated and vulnerable to exploitation. Use direct deposits. If possible, set up direct deposits for the elderly person's income, such as Social Security or pension checks. This can help to prevent theft of the checks or cash. Monitor bank accounts. Monitor the elderly person's bank accounts and credit card statements for any unusual activity, such as withdrawals or purchases they did not make. Establish power of attorney. Establish power of attorney with a trusted family member or friend who can make financial decisions on the behalf of the elderly person, if they become unable to do so themselves. Check references. When hiring caregivers or service providers, check their references and perform a background check to ensure they are trustworthy and do not have a history of exploitation. And report suspected abuse. If you suspect that an elderly person is being exploited, report it to the appropriate authorities, such as the police, Adult Protection Services, or the National Centre of Elder Abuse. What organisations help in preventing elderly exploitation? There are many organisations that work to prevent the exploitation of elderly individuals. Here are a few examples. The National Adult Protection Services Association, NAPSA. NAPSA is a non-profit organisation dedicated to protecting vulnerable adults from abuse, neglect and exploitation. They offer resources and support to APS, Adult Protective Services, agencies and professionals working in the field. National Centre of Elder Abuse, NCEA. NCEA is a program of the US Administration of Aging that serves as a national resource centre dedicated to preventing elder abuse, neglect and exploitation. Elder Justice Coalition, EJC. EJC is a national advocacy organisation that focuses on promoting elder justice policies and programs at the federal and state levels. AARP, Fraud Watch Network. AARP's Fraud Watch Network provides information and resources to help protect seniors from scams, fraud and identity theft. Elder Financial Protection Network, EFPN. EFPN is a non-profit organisation that works to prevent financial abuse of elders by educating seniors, their families and professionals about how to identify and report financial exploitation. And the National Council of Aging, NCOA. NCOA is a non-profit organisation that provides resources and programs to help seniors stay healthy, financially secure and independent. They also have resources to help prevent elder financial exploitation. These are just a few examples of organisations working to prevent elder exploitation. There may be other local or regional organisations that provide similar services in your area. Elderly exploitation can have serious consequences for the physical and mental health of older adults, and it's important to take steps to prevent and address this issue. If you suspect an older adult is being abused or exploited, it is important to report it to the authorities and seek help from a trusted source, just like the ones just mentioned. Well, there you have it. What is elderly exploitation and ways criminals exploit the elderly? Please tell us in our comment section if we can all do more to tackle this crime and what other topics you would like us to cover in the future. We have now launched our very own courses for you to take a more in-depth look at a variety of subjects, such as Introduction to AML, Beneficial Ownership, and Customer Risk Rating, for example. So make sure you visit our website for further details. And let us help you connect the dots in KYC. Thank you for watching the video, and if you made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe to watch more amazing videos.